Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about the waterfall search ability within Excel. So what we're going to do is using some data validation fields, we're going to actually create a kind of layered search within a simple data set here that can be used with a much more complex data set. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that when we look up an animal and then hit our second drop down, only the types that match up with that animal that we selected in the first one work in the second one. So hugely powerful, fairly simple data set here, as I mentioned, but can be used much more complex and much more levels than just two. The important thing to note is that our master data set here, we're actually going to create data sets for each level that we have, creating a unique relationship between the previous level and the one following. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our data set that we have here, put it into another tab, we copy it twice because we have two levels. Now the first level, we only care about the first option that we have, so we can get rid of the second. We'll highlight our values, remove the duplicates so that we only have unique values, and we are left with 3. Now, since we have such a small data set, it would probably be just as easy to type it in, dog, cat, bird, but since this is kind of teaching you how to do it, it's much better to use that with larger data sets to make sure that you don't miss anything, you don't mistype anything. It makes it a lot easier. So we've got our first data set here and our second data set over here. Now if we had multiple data sets, we would have to go through once again and get rid of anything that's beyond our second layer and get rid of the duplicates in there. But since this is our last layer, everything is already unique, so we are good to go there. Now we are ready to put in our data validation. We've already got our data copied so that we don't need that, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. And our first level of data validation is going to be a list, and then we are going to select our options. So right now we only have 3 options. Hit OK, and then we have our first level of data validation. Second level of data validation is where things start getting complex, but the good news is that if you have third, fourth, fifth, etc. levels, it's the same principle, just changing the references. So we're going to hit our data validation, do list once again, and then we are going to type in our formula. So we are going to do offset, and then the first is going to be, simplest way to do it is just to select the header of our lookup column that we're looking up here. So in this situation, I'm going to say C1, hit comma, and then we are going to do the match formula, and we are going to match the lookup of the previous level. So if we're in level 2, we're going to match to lookup level 1. If we're in level 3, we would be looking up the cell that we looked up for level 2, etc., etc. And we are going to look up into this column. Now it doesn't need to be exact, so it's easiest just to select the whole column, so it makes it simple, and then you don't have, as the values change, if you add or delete anything, you just have the whole column selected, so it makes it very simple. Then we are going to put a 0 in for an exact match. Then we are going to subtract 1 from this because our data is starting on the second row. Then we are going to hit comma. Now we're going to be selecting the column that we're looking for. So it starts off as the column 0, if you will. So we'll put in a 1 there because we want the column that is 1 adjacent to the column that we are looking up. And lastly, we are going to do a count if. And once again, we are going to select the whole column and hit a comma and our lookup from the previous level. Close that parentheses, comma 1. Close that parentheses. Hit enter, and it's going to tell us it evaluates to an error right now because we don't have anything selected on animal. Say that's okay. So you can see that if we try to select anything here, it does not give us a value. But as soon as we select a cat, then all the different cat options are available. If we were to switch it to dog, all the different dog options are available. Now, something key to note with this is that if we select an option and then we go back and change our original value, it is not going to give us an error or anything like that. We'll have to add some extra formulas, some validation steps to be able to get that in there. Easiest way that I've found to do that is with some conditional formatting, so that if they don't match up, it'll highlight it or it'll gray it out or something of that sort. But that's something that's purely up to the users and what you're looking for, if you want colors all over or if you just want to rely on the users to be able to clear everything out before they keep going again. So hopefully that helps you guys out. If you guys have any questions, please throw them in the comments below, and I hope this guy makes your guys' life a little bit easier. Thanks. Bye.